What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Pinkster podcast. I'm excited to be back. Man, it's been a while, and I know people have been asking me, are you still gonna do it? Are you still gonna come back with Pinkster podcast? But yeah, here we are. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So a lot of things have happened in this time that I've been missing, if you can say like that. I became youth pastor. I don't say pastor in our church. It was a Pinkster, so it's a youth leader basically. I became a father, as most of you know who watch the channel. So it's been really trucking, from side to side, But I'm grateful. I'm grateful to God, I'm grateful to Jesus for His hand of protection over my life, over my family, you that is watching. So I don't wanna make too long this time. So recently, let me just jump straight into it. Recently I became a youth leader, and from my own personal testimonies, one from my own skeleton closet, let me say it like that. I never speak about my own personal things, but I mean, we're here to share, and I know. And my testimony was when I was younger, growing up, by the time of about 12, 13, my father had external marital curriculums, activities, however you want to say it, But for me in that time, I was a bit, I was a bit skeptical. I am a bit skeptical to talk about it, but I got hurt during that time, if I must say it plainly and as simple for everybody to understand. It's earth-shattering. It's world confusing. You don't really understand what is happening, But as I grew older, as I went through this period of my life, I wanna say and be honest on this podcast as always, as you guys know. But during that time, I had nobody to talk to. So what had happened is, me as a young person, I'm going through it. Becoming a teenager. I am a teenager, and I would like to tell somebody how I feel, because I'm hurt. I'm going through stuff. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to go through the process on my own. You know what I mean? And nobody was there for me. This is where I wanna come to. Nobody was there for me. So people were there. I could go and say, I could tell them. Like, I can go to somebody, but I can't actually speak to the person about how I'm feeling. In that period, my mom was hurt, so she was closed. My grandparents, they were kind of in the situation, so they weren't available to talk about it, But so basically, I had nothing. You have cousins. You can go speak to them, but you don't want to speak to cousins, because cousins, they're gonna tell you like, "Jay's pap man, Jay," and just keep, when you have parati, hold for yourself. But as I grew older, it became harder for me, more difficult. People would say one thing, and I would go into fits of rage, like suddenly fits of rage, and I don't know where it's coming from, because I'm young. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know how to deal with what's happening, and people are forcing you to forcing you in a box, to tell you like, you must smile, you can't be unhappy, you can't also tell your father, you can't tell your mother how they are. And especially as me, we as colored people, if I can say it straight, or don't wanna just generalize colored people, but in my community, if you are young, you can't just go up to your father, your mother, and tell them exactly how you feel, because that would be a sign of disrespect. I can't just go up to my parents and tell them I don't like what's happening, I don't like what you're doing. You would get otherwise punished if But as I went through the period of those things, I learned to deal with it on my own. And as I grew up, it was difficult, because learning things on your own, you're becoming a young man, you don't know how to do things, and daddy was here one day and then the next day he was gone. He's still there, but he's not in the capacity that you as a young man, I'm speaking to young men now, that we need, And then further on, this to skip a whole story further, but I want to come to this part of how this fits into my testimony of getting to Jesus. As I become older and I started reading the Bible, I realized that Jesus, this is an aspect of Jesus, a personality, or a part of Jesus that people never speak about. I say that in our youth that lots of people betrayed Jesus before he was going to be crucified. Peter denied Jesus. Judas obviously betrayed Jesus. But in those situations, Jesus was emotionally available. So this is the two important words: emotionally available. And as I went through this thing in my life, my son was born, and I looked at him and I thought, what if one day he went through something like this and I wasn't available for him? So I made it a point of myself to always try to be emotionally available for somebody else. Now, when Jesus forgave their sins, they did the worst things that they could to him in his last few hours of being with us. He was emotionally available to their side, because he knew Petrus would fall asleep. Or Peter, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused with the names, but he knew he would fall asleep, and the other one, but was sitting by the fire. The other disciple was sitting by the fire, who denied he knew Jesus three. He denied Jesus 3 times by the fire, or not him, but yeah. Anyway, sorry, he denied Jesus, but Jesus knew one was scared, fearful, and he knew the other one was tired. He couldn't keep his eyes open anymore, but he was still available to those emotions, knowing what he's going through, what he's going to go through. So for me, going through this thing, I want to tell somebody, if you are going through something, or you're going through a situation, don't go through your situation blinded to somebody else's plight, to somebody else's fight. Let us also be emotionally available to somebody else, so they don't go through the rage that I went through, so that they don't go through the hurt that I went through, that I had to deal alone with. I want to tell somebody that most of us of my generation, I'm about 25, 26, but most of our generation went through something similar to this, and we know exactly how it feels. I know I'm not alone. That's why I can testify to somebody. If you went through something like this, don't make somebody else a youngster. If you know your best friend, your cousin, be emotionally available there for them as well. Don't just let your problem keep you in your box. Let somebody come talk to you, and when they do talk to you, don't be like don't cut that person off. Let them speak, because to me, I know if somebody was there for me, that rage would have never went to that extent, that it went to that rage, that hurt would have never gone to that level it went to, you know. So in this, I wanted to say, encourage somebody. This is a personality of Jesus, aspect of Jesus' personality that I'm recently become very fond of, you know, because sometimes I'm going through a lot of things. I box myself in my situation, and I don't have time for anybody else. But sometimes somebody else's situation might be very harsh on them as well. So I want to bless you with that. I hope you are encouraged. I hope you share this video with somebody. If you made it till the end, say amen, amen. So I want to bless you. I want to bless you with that. Always pray, you know. Always keep God close, amen. And I want to see you next time. Always share this video with somebody, and all my love. See you.